Today's Meet Me at the Terminal is about the undisputable, undeniable, and sometimes unclosable VIM. VIM is a lightweight modal text editor. What's great is it's usually included in most UNIX systems, aka it's everywhere. In the context of the cloud, it's pretty much on any machine that you would access. VIM is probably the only thing I like more than Fishshell. If you didn't watch my Fishshell video, shame on you. But it's okay, open another tab above, right now. Anywho, let's get started. Hello Venti Fried family, it's your boy JW Tech Dev, your Venti Fried Chicken author and global cloud slinger. The book is less than 3 weeks away, so if you're interested in getting into tech, diversity and inclusion, and my crazy life, subscribe to the mailer in the comments below. So a text editor is how we write and edit our code. And like I said previously, Vim is everywhere. Vim is extremely configurable. Vim is also extremely efficient after you get past the learning curve. Also, the learning curve looks like this. But don't fear, as advertised in the title, you're gonna learn enough Vim to be dangerous. The main reason is I never wanna hear about you guys having to use Nano. Shots fired. Let's start the demo.
This bad boy. So let's get into this Vim 101. Just some of the most basic key commands you can do in Vim so that you can easily access files. The reason I like Vim and kind of the paradigm behind Vim is that most of the time you're editing files. You're not really writing a lot of things from scratch all the time. A lot of times you're editing pre-existing stuff, especially when you're in cloud like I am. A lot of times, it's a configuration file that already exists and you're punching in a new line or you're editing a new line or you're commenting out something. But Vim is really good at, it's a full-blown text editor, don't get me wrong, but it really shines at, being able to edit on the fly. So the file that we'll be editing today is a file that we created together in a past video, which you can see above in the description, where we deployed multiple EC2s using Bodo 3. And I'm just going to look at that file doing the ls command. And just to refresh what Bodo 3 is, it's a Python SDK within Amazon Web Services. So you're using Python code to deploy multiple servers with this script. So I just used the ls to just list my directory. You see ec2 deploy.py, and then a helpful command, just normal basic Linux command. I'm just going to do a cat just to look at this file, and I'm just going to tab to complete, and then you can see that the which code, and sorry I just knocked over a marker, and then you can see the code there. But really how you access, and I'm gonna just clear this just so it's a little bit easier, and then but the way that you interface with files with Vim is VI, and then I hit EC2, and I'll just tab to autocomplete, and since that file exists in this file path, it's going to open it there. So the first command that I'm going to go over is the input mode command, which is just how we're able to work within the Vim file. So something I said earlier that didn't quite make sense, but will make sense now after I explain it, is that Vim is a modal text editor. It means it has different modes to accomplish certain things, and you'll kind of see as we go through some of these basic commands. But right now we're not in a mode where we can access anything. Like you can hear me hitting the keyboard, but nothing is inputting into this file. So it's very simple. How you access this file is hitting N, and if you see at the bottom of my screen, we are now in insert mode, where I could write whatever there. So that's one of the most basic things for Vim, is being an input mode, so that you can really edit the file. And I think this is actually kind of genius, because as like a senior dev and working with me, have been in not a senior dev my whole life, and now having folks that work under me, you don't want just like the newest person coming into a file, destroying something, and then saving that and then backing out. I think the input mode maybe was made by some jaded senior dev that was like, we should have some type of barrier to entry for them to enter things into this file. So insert was born, and this is just an urban legend that I just totally made up right now on the spot. For you to exit out of that mode, all you have to do is hit the escape key, and as you can see, that insert left, and I'll just hit I again just to show how easy it is for it to come back. So escape key is the next, I guess, command. I would say, how do I exit out of input mode, because then that'll make it so that you're able to save, which we'll go over in a second. So I'm just going to hit escape. The next thing I would like to go over is navigation. So Vim is very interesting with navigation, where the keys H, J, K, and L are used for navigation. H is used for down, K is used for up, L is used for right, and H is used for left. And this will feel kind of weird at in the beginning, but once you get used to it, it helps really navigate files pretty quickly once you get used to kind of that workflow. And if you ever did any like old PC games, then at some point in the 90s, you were pretty used to navigating around with just using your hand. So that's the next command I wanted to go over, and this will all be in the description. I'll post a Geist where you can get all of these, this cheat sheet, if you will. So H, J, K, and L are navigate, and then if you are lazy, you can still use the arrow keys as well. But to some of the super seasoned Vim users, they love to use H, J, K, L, and I say them because I'm one of the people that still gets lazy and use the arrow key sometimes. But I know some pretty aggressive Vim users that definitely use it, and I see how efficient they are, and I'm trying to get better at it myself. So the next command I wanted to go over is how you basically give commands to Vim, and which I've dubbed the prompt, but I'm not even sure if that's the actual official name, and if it is the official name, feel free to berate me in the comments. So I'm going to use a colon, and then from there I can prompt all types of things. One of the ones I wanted to show right away is how do you quit Vim, because I kind of made a joke in the beginning that it's sometimes inescapable, so people will rage quit in their terminal because they can't get out of their own file. Since I don't want to make any changes to this file, the easiest way to get out of Vim is with quit. So it's Q and then exclamation point, and then voila, I'm out of the file. So that's how you quit Vim. And then we'll talk about another more safe and probably more realistic actual way to save your file, because you don't want to just quit and lose all your changes. So if I do the same with colon, then is WQ, so it's write and then quit, and then now that file will be saved. And just so I can drive the point home, let's do VI, and then I'll go into input mode. So let's add a change here where we're gonna add something we don't care about. So I'll just add a comment of, look, this was a change. Oh, if I can spell. Sorry, been a long day. And then I'll hit escape, and then WQ, and that write quit, and then now let's do just a cat on that, just to show that it's there. And then as you can see, look, this was a change, is there. So just showing how to write to a file and save. And then the next command we want to go over is how you search in Vim, which is very helpful, especially if you have a very long file. So it's going to be colon, and then you're going to do a /, and then from there, if I was to look for, let's just say EC2, which we know is in the file, as you can see, we got the syntax highlighting, and then we can jump around from one to the next pretty easily. So I just wanted to show that. And then, so the next command I want to go through is for how you can do an undo. So actually, I'm going to move out of that mode. I'm going to go to insert mode. And what if this was something, I made some mistakes, let's just write some craziness. And then all I have to do is get out of input mode and then hit U, and as you can see, and then you can even see the change diff at the bottom, which is super helpful. But it's just the command of U, which is really helpful when you're, fast typing away, you make a mistake, you don't want to, go back and change a whole bunch of stuff. Basically that last string was totally garbage. Undo, continue to write again. And then the next thing I wanted to show is how we can delete a whole line. So we were saying how I have this where, look, this was a change. We obviously don't want that line long term in our file. So I'm just going to hit DD twice. It's gone now. And then if I use the U command, then it's back. And I can hit DD again and it's gone. So that's fun. You can, I guess, waste some time doing that. But, in a real scenario, that would be definitely helpful. So the last thing I want to show is how to do a find and replace, which is something you have to do a lot in technology where, maybe a name of a certain function changed or things of that nature, and you don't want to go line by line, and that can be very error prone where you might miss some. Maybe you're working at 3 a.m. Find and replace can be your best friend. So I'm gonna do a prompt here to, as you can see, this is kind of an ongoing thing where you're using the prompt to input and tell Vim what you want to do. And then so I'm gonna hit the %, lowercase s, and then the next after the slash, after the /, you're gonna be is what you're targeting. So I'm saying I want to look for every instance of EC2. And then I want to change every instance of EC2 to RDS. And to be honest, in some instances of Boto 3, this might actually have been helpful because kind of how the variables are used, as you can see, is Boto3.resource. So now me switching it to RDS might make it so I save a lot of time because I can swap out a certain type of resource for another. And then /G. And then once I hit the enter key, then we should see all instances of EC2 get replaced by RDS. And voila, it's like magic. And as you can see at the bottom of the line, here at the bottom of the document, that it substituted this amount of instances of EC2. And this is helpful. And then if I made a mistake, if I did like RDSS by accident, then of course, then I could just do my undo. And since this file was actually in good shape, I don't want to save my changes as I talked about before. So I'm just gonna hit quit. So hopefully this video was helpful, and you see where Vim can be really helpful on just being on foreign systems where you need to edit a file, and you see how easy it can be to be able to just kind of do some quick and dirty work to get things back up or to make some configuration changes. So I'm gonna hit quit. If you guys are interested in more Vim videos, let me know in the comments. Hopefully this was helpful.
Also, let me know in the comments below if there's any questions you have or any caveats you have to this video. Like and subscribe, as I'm pumping out 2 saucy tech videos a week. Train, inspire, relate. We cooking now.